For the first time in its history, Anthropic is putting a name on a credential, not a course completion, not a badge for watching videos, a real proctored exam that says, this person can architect production systems with Claude. It's called the Claude Certified Architect. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what's on it. Every domain, every scenario, how it's scored, and the one thing most people get wrong about passing it. Wrong. Here's why this is a bigger deal than it sounds. Until March 2026, there was no official way to prove you actually know how to build with Claude. Anyone could put AI engineer on a profile. This is Anthropic, drawing a line in the sand. The same move AWS made years ago that turned cloud skills into a hiring filter. The foundation's exam is the entry point to that ladder. And Anthropic has already said sellers, architects, and developer tracks are coming later this year. So, what is it precisely? The full name is the Claude Certified Architect Foundations, CCA-F for short. It launched on March 12th, 2026. The same day, Anthropic put $100 million into its new partner network. It is not a multiple guess trivia quiz about Claude's features. It is a scenario exam. You're dropped into realistic production situations and asked to make the architectural call a senior engineer would make. This is aimed at one person, the solution architect who builds real applications with Claude and ships them to production. Anthropic's guidance is roughly 6 months of hands-on experience, meaning you've actually wired up agents, written tool schemas, configured Claude Code, and debugged prompts that misbehaved in the wild. If you've only chatted in the app, this exam will feel hard. If you've shipped, it'll feel fair. Let's talk format, because the numbers matter. 60 questions, 120 minutes. That's about 2 minutes per question. Every question is multiple choice or multi-select. And it's proctored, so no tab switching to the docs mid-exam. The price is $99 per attempt. One exception worth knowing. If your company joins the Claude Partner Network, which is free to join, the first 5,000 employees get the exam at no cost. And here's the part most people get wrong. The passing score is 720, but not 720 out of a flat percentage. It's 720 on a scale track from 100 to 1000. And the questions are weighted by difficulty. A hard agentic architecture question is worth more than an easy definition. So you can't just memorize 40 answers and coast. You have to be strong where the weight is. And that brings us to the 5 domains. The exam is split into 5 domains. And the weighting tells you exactly where to spend your study time. Memorize these percentages. Agentic architecture is 27%. Claude Code workflows, 20. Prompt engineering, 20. Tool design and MCP, 18. Context and reliability, 15. More than a quarter of your score lives in one domain. So let's start there. Domain 1, the heavyweight, at 27%. Agentic architecture and orchestration. This is about designing systems where Claude acts, not just answers, multi-agent setups. Task decomposition. Breaking a big job into pieces a sub-agent can own. Hub and spoke orchestration, where one coordinator delegates to specialists. The agentic loop itself. Plan, act, observe, repeat. And the hard one, reliability. When do you let an agent run on its own? And when do you force it to stop and escalate to a human? Get comfortable here. This domain alone can pass or sink you. Domain 2, 20%. Claude Code, configuration and workflows. This is the practitioner's domain, the Claude.md hierarchy. How project, directory, and user instructions stack and override each other. Custom/commands. Persistent project context that survives across sessions. And plugging Claude Code into CI/CD. So it's not just a chat window, but part of your pipeline. If you use Claude Code every day, this is your free points. If you don't, this is where the gap shows. Domain 3, also 20%. Prompt engineering and structured output. And notice the second half of that name, structured output. The exam cares less about clever wording and more about reliability. JSON schema enforcement. Few short examples that lock the format. Validation and retry loops. When the model returns something malformed. And the key distinction they test. Programmatic enforcement versus prompt based guardrails. When do you trust the prompt? And when do you trust the code around it? The answer is almost always trust the code. Domain 4, 18%. Tool design and MCP integration. This is where Claude reaches out and touches the world. Designing model context protocol servers and clients. Drawing clean tool boundaries. One tool, one job. The trade-offs of CSE transport. Authentication patterns, so an agent can act on a user's behalf without holding the keys to everything. And writing tool schemas so clear that Claude picks the right tool every time. Vague schemas are the number one cause of an agent calling the wrong function. And the exam knows it. Domain 5, 15%. Context management and reliability, the quietest domain. And the one that separates people who've shipped from people who've demoed. How do you keep an agent coherent across a long task without blowing the context window? What do you keep? What do you summarize? What do you throw away? And reliability patterns. Retries, fallbacks, graceful failure. So your system degrades politely instead of collapsing. Small weight, big real world payoff. Now, those domains don't show up as dry definitions. They show up inside scenarios. Anthropic built a pool of 6 realistic production scenarios. And on exam day, you get 4 of them drawn at random. So you can't predict which 4. You have to be ready for all 6. They are a customer support resolution agent, code generation with Claude Code, a multi-agent research system, developer productivity tools, Claude Code running inside CI/CD, and structured data extraction. Read that list again because it's a map of exactly what to practice. Inside each scenario, you're not asked what is an agent. You're asked things like, this support agent keeps escalating tickets. It should handle itself. What do you change? This multi-agent research system is returning contradictory answers. Where's the orchestration flaw? The exam is testing judgment under realistic constraints, which is exactly why memorizing flashcards fails and why practicing on scenario-style questions works. So is $99 and a couple hours worth it. If you are a freelancer or consultant, this is the first credential that lets you say Claude Certified and mean something real. It's a differentiator while almost nobody has it. If you're employed, it's a clean signal to your team that you can own production AI work. And if your company is in the partner network, it might cost you nothing but time. The window where being early actually matters is open right now. Here's how I'd prepare. Don't read docs cover to cover. That's the slow way. Map your study time to the waiting. Agentic architecture first, then Claude Code and prompting, then MCP and context. And the single highest leverage thing you can do is practice on scenario style questions under time so the format stops being a surprise. 2 minutes a question goes fast. That's exactly why I built the Claude Certified Architect Foundation's complete prep kit. It's a full set of practice questions and timed mock exams that mirror the real scenario format. Organized by the 5 domains and their exact weightings, so you spend your time where the points are. If you're going to sit this exam, do it once. The link to the prep kit and mock tests is in the description and pinned in the comments. Go in ready. And if this breakdown saved you an afternoon of digging, subscribe. I go deep on the practical side of building with Claude every week on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. The certification is just the start of the ladder. I'll see you on the next one.